I took some of your concerns to Dr. Fauci in an exclusive interview this afternoon. Take a look. Dr. Anthony Fauci, probably the most recognizable doctor in the nation right now, talking about vaccines. Thanks so much for your time today. So in Louisiana, we have about 500,000 people who are fully vaccinated, about 1.5 million doses that have gone out. By our math, that comes out to a little more than 12% of the state's population that has been vaccinated. Are we on the right track here? Is this where we need to be?
The answer is yes, you are on the right track, as a matter of fact. At least, about 20% have had at least one dose. And what we have been hearing, and we checked on it, there still is available vaccine in the pharmacies in Louisiana and in the centers that are distributing it. So two things. Louisiana's doing a good job. Number two, keep it up. See, that's really the message, because the sooner you get the majority of the people in your state vaccinated, the safer things are going to be to do all the things we want to do. We want to open up back to normal. We want to get sports going again. We want to do things that people feel they're getting a normal life. It's within our control to do that. These vaccines are highly efficacious and they have a good safety record. So if there's vaccine available to you, take it. Regardless of which one it is, take it. They're all good.
On that note, I actually reached out to our viewers. I put up a post on Facebook asking, are you hesitant to get a vaccine, and if so, why? A lot of people said they weren't hesitant, that they already had gotten the vaccine or planned to, but there were also a lot of people who said that they were hesitant, and the reason that I kept seeing over and over again was that they just don't trust the data there. Even though there are the studies and the trials and the reviews that say that this is safe, they're just wary about taking what is essentially a new drug, a first generation of a new drug that was developed in an unprecedented fashion. What is your message to those people who are watching tonight?
Yeah. It's understandable that they feel that way, so I wouldn't just out of hand reject them and make them feel badly that they feel that way, but I would try to explain to them that the speed is really a little bit misleading. True, it was done in less than a year, but that was the basis of extraordinary scientific advances that took place decades before we started doing it in January. So we're not talking about an 11-month process. We're talking about a decades-long process. And I think that's the thing that people need to understand. The other thing, the data to show that it's safe and effective is based on tens and tens of thousands of people in a clinical trial, some of the largest clinical trials we've ever done. And the decision about whether something is safe and effective wasn't made by the federal government, wasn't made by the pharmaceutical companies. It was made by an independent body called the Data and Safety Monitoring Board, whose only allegiance is to the American public, not to the government and not to the pharmaceutical company. And they made the determination that this is safe and effective. And the decision to get it distributed to the American public that was made by the FDA was made by career scientists, not politicians, and they did it in a transparent way in association with their own advisory committee. And I think all of that are things that people don't appreciate. They think it was kind of made in a closed room by a bunch of people trying to make a lot of money. That's not the case at all. It was very transparent and very independent.
So talking about distribution, the governor here has said that he will open up eligibility and actually did expand eligibility today a little bit, but that is based on the availability of drugs. So on the federal end of things, what's being done to make sure that the states have what they need to open up that eligibility and get more shots in arms?
Well, that's exactly what we said in the beginning of the interview. Louisiana has done very well, and they will continue to do well. They still have doses in the pharmacy that have not been distributed. As we get from March into April, there'll be many, many more doses that are going to be distributed. As we get into May, even more. So before there was a big discrepancy between supply and demand, that gap is starting to close now. So we anticipate that there will soon be vaccine enough for anybody who wants it to get it.
All right, Dr. Anthony Fauci, again, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
I'm Liz Coe. Thanks for checking out the WAFB YouTube channel. Hey, why don't you subscribe while you're here? Go ahead and click on that box, and you'll get the latest updates on when we go live. Make sure you download the WAFB News app for the latest updates, too.